'Tis the season to sell women their long-desired need for a holiday boo-thang. There are so many holiday movies about finding love for Christmas. There is a whole entire channel dedicated to this very antiquated subgenre of film, the Hallmark Channel, and also Lifetime. And for some reason, I thought Netflix's new release, Champagne Problems, would be different. The title is what really pulled me in. See, I have this thought that as a society, we've come a long way, and this should be reflected in the media that we consume, right? Which is why I normally criticize older films and the messaging instilled in women, back then. After all, everyone knows that the greatest love of all is learning to love yourself. Whitney Houston told us this 40 years ago. So when I began watching this film featuring a highly capable and ambitious woman, Sydney, I surely thought, I am going to be surprised. This one is going to be different. But nope, in 2025, same different decade. If you haven't yet watched Champagne Problems, you might want to stop here as this video will contain spoilers. And please come back after you've watched it. I am very interested to know what other people's thoughts on this film are. So the story is a very much repeated one, so maybe this won't be a spoiler after all, but it's all centered around Christmas time in Paris. Sydney Price, main character played by Minka Kelly, is a smart and driven woman trying to survive and thrive in a very male-dominated work environment. So she works for this company called the Roth Group, which it's never explicitly stated, but I'm assuming it's a private equity firm. She normally has these great ideas, but is often overlooked at work, with her male coworkers typically being the ones chosen to carry out and close on deals that she pitches. But this time, she's given a chance to lead the acquisition of a very well-established champagne brand based in Paris. And her boss sends her there to close the deal and acquire the company. Sydney goes to Paris and is there for a very short time on business, and she has this very well thought out list of all of the things to do since she's never been there and won't be there for long. One of her stops is at this very obscure bookstore, and this is where she meets Henri, her love interest in the film. Sydney starts doing that American small talk thing where she tells all of her sister's business to a total stranger. He becomes completely enamored with her, and then Henri begs her to ditch her original itinerary so he could show her Christmas in Paris. There's nothing wrong here yet, like sure, hang out with a local for an authentic Parisian experience, that's cool. So Henri takes her on this marathon date. They go to the Paris Christmas markets, eat Parisian street food, crepes, macarons. They ride the Ferris wheel and see the Eiffel Tower. And all along the way, she ends up divulging all of her deepest insecurities, like how she's constantly trying to prove herself to literally every male in her life, her ex-husband, her boss, her dad, her coworkers. And this all creates this false sense of intimacy, leading her to sleep with him after just one night of knowing him. See how marathon dates work? Anyways, whatever, go ahead and have your one night stand in Paris. This is not my issue with the film either. This movie would have been better had she left it there, especially after what happens next. It would have been better if space was left for him to chase her, actually pursue her. But no, let's continue on with the story. The next morning, she's late for her meeting after tussling around with Henri all night. And when she gets to her meeting late, there she finds out that Henri is the VP of the company she's pitching to, the owner's son. Shocker. After realizing what company Sydney is with, however, Henri proceeds to berate her in the meeting in front of everyone because he had some bad dealing with the Roth Group in the past. She's hurt and completely confused and embarrassed, and it's like, of course, like you just slept with him a few hours ago and now he's being an ass. After this meeting, the owner, Henri's dad, invites Sydney and the 3 other representatives of other companies all competing for the deal to the countryside to stay and visit the chateau and vineyard where their champagne is made. I did not understand the reason for this particular plot point. I'm curious if this is actually how they do business in France, but I digress. The owner puts them through a series of challenges like pruning the vines and rotating bottles to, I guess, see who's the best fit to acquire his company. During this visit to the Chateau de Cassel, they all go to the Festival of Lights where Henri gives Sydney a box of cookies, macarons, for acting like a jerk. They make up and Sydney actually has a good shot of making this deal. It's almost a win-win until her coworker Ryan shows up running his mouth and Henri overhears that when they take over the company, his father will be pushed out because the Roth group just plans on handing it over to another company for more profit. So Henri ends it, and Sydney is sad and confused again. See, Sydney, after only knowing Henri and his dad for 2 days, cares so much for them that she can't bear to see this happen. So she tells Henri's dad that her company is going to cheat him, ends up not closing the deal, quits her job, and lost the guy too, again. This is the formula that we all know and love of women sacrificing themselves for men that they barely know, all in the name of love. I don't think Henri even loved her at this point, like they've only known each other for 2 days. Anyways, after learning all of this, the father changes course, of course, and sells to the rich fool of the group, Roberto, who is actually the best deal for him as Roberto has a lot of money and doesn't really want to run the company, and his father can just keep running the business. So Sydney is about to leave Paris and is still love-struck. She's like staring at this box of cookies that Henri gave her. She just requires so little. And he, of course, finds her in the bookstore that they first met in, apologizes for acting like an idiot, again, his words. And to wrap up, I'll say this, the problem wasn't Henri. He is actually one of the less problematic love interests in a rom-com I've seen in a while. The issue is with the fantasy that's being sold here. The irresponsible fantasy showcasing that women are still happy playing martyr for men that they do not know. Because, things will just magically work themselves out. Like, I can't believe we're still doing this, sending messages that it's perfectly normal, romantic even, to blow up your entire life over some dude you've known for 48 hours. The quick romance movies are the absolute worst. Like, at least drag it out. Let some time pass so that there's an implication that she's gotten to know him over some time before we set up scenarios like this. But I haven't even gotten to the ending yet. This movie plays into the fantasy of a guy saving you, right? And I guess he's saving you from yourself. So at the start of the movie, Henri told Sydney about his, I repeat his, long-term goal of owning and opening a wine bookstore, which I initially interpreted as a bookstore selling nothing but specialty books on wine. And guess how the movie ends? The last scene is Sydney, now living in Paris, working in Henri's perfect fantasy, now reality, of one day owning a wine bookstore, which actually is just a regular bookstore that happens to sell wine too. Let's all remember, Sydney is the main character. This is her story, and she somehow got embedded into his dream life. But the scene shows him asking how they did monetarily for the month, and she says they're still in the red, and he says, "You make a sexy little COO." So he gets what he wants, her and his wine bookstore, like she's an employee working hard to make his dream business profitable. Is that what she even wanted? I don't recall her having a dream of moving to Paris. She had never even been there before. Did she have a passion for books? If I remember correctly, she was only in that bookstore to buy her sister a self-help book. A passion for wine, maybe? I thought so, but then when I watched her opening pitch at the start of the film, she was really just doing her job. I mean, the audience doesn't really know if this is what she wanted. I guess it's a win for her since her character is written with absolutely no complexity, and her biggest mission in life is to prove to men specifically that she can take charge. Good for Henri for placing her in his little bookstore as COO so she can do just that. Another woman saved from herself, millions more to go. Anyways, let me know your thoughts on this film if you've seen it. It was a cute story, but yeah, no. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe for more content. Signing off now, your friend, Dom.